We are joined by Jimmy Smith, one of the great wide receivers from the NFL. But it didn't necessarily start out as if it was going to be greatness. Jimmy, first of all, congratulations on your induction into the Hall of Fame, and thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Callaway High School.
Yep.
No D1 offers coming out.
No.
Go to Jackson State. That's where it started.
That's where it started. I was going to Jackson State anyway. Both my parents went to Jackson State, so whether I got D1 offers or not, I wouldn't have known. They may have hid those letters from me.
They didn't make it to the mailbox.
It didn't make it to the mailbox, and if it did, it got torn up before I got it. So, I knew that I was going to Jackson State at a very early age because of tradition.
When did it click for you? When did it feel like, okay, this has got a chance to really work beyond just I'm in college playing football?
Yeah. I would say my redshirt freshman year, believe it or not. I was one of the few redshirt freshmen to actually play in meaningful games at Jackson State. We had a Circle City Classic where we played Florida A&M, and my first catch was a post corner in the end zone up in the Colts Stadium up there on turf. First time we played on turf.
RCA Dome?
The old RCA Dome.
Yeah.
And the turf was bad. It was like concrete. But going against one of the best corners in the MEAC when we played Florida A&M, and I had a pretty productive day against him, and I knew at a very young age that I was probably going to, have a good shot at making the NFL.
Yeah. Drafted by the Cowboys, second-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
You're only with them for a couple of years, though.
Yeah.
And then Tom Coughlin, who is one of the maybe underappreciated in terms of his coaching career in the NFL, but a great mind, a great eye. He spots you to work out, and he says, come be my guy.
It took a while.
Okay.
By him being and coaching from, being from Syracuse and coaching at Boston College, didn't know much about HBCU players or any player from Jackson State. I was one of the first actually the very first player on that roster in 1995 that actually got a job on that team. And I tell you, after he saw my work ethic and my character, that very next year they drafted Reggie Barlow out of Alabama State, and they signed two more receivers out of Jackson State, Greg Spann and Antonio Kimbrough. And so I consider myself as kind of like kicking the door open for guys who have been looked over, I guess I should say. A lot of guys slip through the cracks that really don't get the chance to play in the NFL.
92 in Dallas, you played in 7 games, mostly on special teams.
Mm-hmm.
93, you're hurt. 94, you're out. 95, 22 catches. But after that, 9 of the next 10 years, over 1,000 yards receiving. And the 1 year you didn't go over 1,000 yards, you only played in 12 games.
Only played in 12 games, yep.
What happened? What changed? What was different?
It was in Dallas, it was first of all, it was playing behind Michael Irvin. I don't care.
He was good.
He was pretty good.
What'd you learn from him?
Michael Irvin, I learned how to really work in practice and not take plays off. When I got to Dallas, I saw how, he practiced just like he played in the game. It wasn't, every single rep, and he took every rep, so I didn't get a chance to get any of the offensive plays. So the only time that I got some playing time was on scout team running plays against the defense. So I saw how he came off the ball, his stance, how he kept his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, how he got in and out of his breaks. And I remember there was a scout who scouted me at Jackson State from the Cowboys. I had no idea that the Cowboys were going to pick me. And I asked him, I say, why did you guys draft me? Considering that you got Michael Irvin here and you just drafted Alvin Harper out of the University of Tennessee.
Right.
So they were loaded at receiver. So, and his response to me was, we're always looking to get better. And that clicked in my head, always looking to get better, always. So you're saying that I can be better than Michael Irvin. Well, come that second year,
Yeah. All right, I think we're back with you now. I apologize for that. Had a little technical issue. We're visiting with Jimmy Smith, and he was talking about what he learned from Michael Irvin in his time in Jacksonville. And I got you on that because I interrupted what you were saying about why it clicked when you got to Jacksonville and you had that run where 9 out of 10 years you go for over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I was primed and ready that second year. And like I was saying before, Jimmy Johnson, I thought I was running in that sophomore year in Dallas. I was running routes just as good or better than Michael Irvin. And I kind of had an attitude about myself, throw me the dang ball. I thought that was how you had to be in order to get some attention because I just wasn't getting the reps that I thought I should get. And Jimmy Johnson pulled me to the side in the locker room. He said, Jimmy, your competition is not Michael Irvin. Your competition is the rest of these rookie receivers and these practice squad receivers. And I appreciate that because he let me know where I stood on that team. So, and as we all know, after in '94 is when Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson had their big breakup, their big fight, and Barry Switzer comes in. And during that time, I was ready to go. I was ready to go and leave Dallas, and I wanted a new beginning because I wasn't going to play in front of Michael Irvin. And I remember when I was getting cut, when they were about to waive me, they called me in the office. Jerry Jones was saying, hey, we're going to cut your salary, and I know that the draft, the NFL system allows you to make so much money, and you just hadn't shown that yet. And Barry Switzer said, hey, Jimmy, we hear they call you Silk, but we just hadn't seen it yet, and if you don't take this offer, we're going to have to waive you at 4 o'clock. And I was happy to leave, believe it or not.
Okay.
Considering how hard it is to have a roster spot on the NFL team. And I tell you, getting out of there and sitting at home for a while, I really got what I asked for because I wasn't able to latch on to another NFL team for a full year, all of '94. So I got what I asked for, and I really regretted it until the Jacksonville Jaguars came calling, and the rest is history.
Yeah, certainly so. And that was an incredible run. I mean, the rivalry that existed between the Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans during that era.
Yeah.
I was at a Monday Night Football game in Nashville. One of those great games along the way. I don't want to run out of time without asking you this. We only got about a minute and a half left. You said your parents weren't going to let you go anywhere but Jackson State. That's where they went. It's where you went. You grew up, went to Callaway High School, and now you're being inducted into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. What does it mean?
Oh, it means a lot. Being able to beat the odds, and going from even when I got to the NFL, there weren't many HBCU players in the NFL. So, I'll go all the way back to the combine, the NFL combine. It was very few players from HBCUs, and guys looked at the HBCU players like, you must really be a bad man in order for you to make it to the NFL combine, to this level. And I started to think about that. I'm like, well, you know what? Now that I'm here, now that I'm hearing praise from my colleagues, from other NFL receivers, potential NFL receivers, that gave me the momentum and the boost to really go and kick in and earn a spot. And there was
a confidence there that you knew you belonged.
Yeah, I mean, it's that confidence that you hear from your peers.
Yeah.
Guys that you're competing with, when they're looking at you, I'm like, wow, here I am against the guys from the big Power Fives, and they're complimenting me. So, hey, I'm ready to go.
Jimmy, congratulations on the honor. I hope it's a great weekend for you and for your family.
It is.
And even though I was giving him a hard time, I know you're so proud of your son as well, who's running, we were talking about Savante's son earlier. Proud for you, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.